Do you have a can of refried beans in your pantry? Well, let me show you how to do it from scratch. And it's much easier than you think. Come on, let's get started.
Todo queda sabroso.
Babe,
What?
where'd you put the pinto beans?
It's in the pantry,
I'm in the pantry.
next to the lentils.
I see the lentils. I don't see the pinto beans.
Anything else?
No, thanks. Because you hit it.
Excuse me?
Nothing, I love you. Okay, so here we have the pinto beans. The pinto beans have these like freckles, and when they're cooked, they're nice and creamy, perfect for refried beans. Okay, so here I have a pot of water. This is about 2 quarts of water. To that, I'm going to add pinto beans that I've rinsed. The reason why you want to rinse it is because sometimes there's dirt, sometimes there's little pebbles, little rocks, and this is about 2 cups of pinto beans that I'm adding to the water. Growing up, my mother always soaked the beans overnight, and so that's what I do too. And we're just going to leave it on the countertop overnight, and then we'll get started in the morning. Okay, so it's the next day, and my beans have been soaking overnight. So I don't know if you can tell, well, you should be able to tell how that soaking inflated that bean. This is the dry bean. This is the bean that was soaking overnight. You can tell there's definitely a difference. So this is going to cook a lot quicker. Now all we need to do is add some flavoring, like this ham hock. I love adding pork products like ham hocks or pork necks to beans. Gives it so much flavor. However, if you don't want to use pork, you can also use turkey tails, turkey necks. If you want to keep it totally vegetarian, that's totally fine as well. But I like pork, so. As well as 1 onion that I've quartered, 3 garlic cloves that I simply smashed, 3 bay leaves, and I'm adding a tablespoon of salt. Now I'm going to allow these beans to simmer on the stove for about 2 to 2.5 hours until they're nice and tender and creamy. Okay, so here we have the finished product, and as you can see, super tender, creamy, exactly what we want. Okay, so I have some lard. This is pork lard. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make tostadas. I have some corn tortillas here. I'm just going to fry them until it's nice and crispy. Okay, to that same pan, I'm going to add diced onion, diced jalapeno, and garlic. I'm going to saute that for about 5 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to add the cooked pinto beans. I'm going to add some salt, some black pepper, some cumin, and I have here some Mexican oregano. It's different from typical Mediterranean oregano. See how it has like these little flowers? You pretty much rub it between your hands. Allow that fragrance to come alive. Mix that around. I'm gonna allow that to cook for about 5 minutes just for those flavors to meld. Then we're going to mash it. Now, if you want this really smooth, you can process it with an immersion blender or even in a blender. I like mine chunky, so this old-fashioned masher will do the trick. I'm gonna add just a little bit of that liquid. I don't need much because it's already pretty smooth. Just want to loosen it up a little bit. I'll just show you that creaminess. Okay, so here we have our finished product, our refried beans. We're gonna make a quick breakfast tostada. Take some of those beans, layer it on that tostada. Then we're gonna grab some chorizo that I cooked earlier. Like that. Some diced onions, cilantro, some jalapeno that I have in there, some queso fresco, a little bit of crema, just like that. And then I'm gonna top it off with a fried egg. And a very simple breakfast tostada made with homemade refried beans, chorizo, queso fresco, crema, with fried egg on top. Delicious.